Hi everyone. In this video we are going to see what is mean by torsion pendulum. We are going to derive the time period of oscillation for a torsion pendulum, and also we are going to derive moment of inertia of the circular disc and rigidity modulus of the wire by dynamic torsion method. A torsional pendulum consists of a metal wire which is suspended vertically. The top end of the wire is fixed and the bottom end is connected to a circular metal disc. So if the disc is rotated by applying a twist, then automatically the wire is also twisted through an angle theta. So if it is twisted, then automatically a restoring couple will be set inside the wire, which will try to restore to its original position. So that value is equal to C into theta, where C is the restoring couple per unit twist. So I am applying twist to the disc now, and then a disc is released. So if it is released, it will oscillate with an angular velocity d theta by dt in a horizontal plane. So these oscillations are called as torsional oscillation. So now the angular acceleration is taken as d square theta by dt square, and capital I is the moment of inertia of the disc. So now the couple we have applied to the disc is equal to I into d square theta by dt square. So at equilibrium condition, this applied couple will be equal to the restoring couple developed internally inside the wire. So we are equating these two values. I into d square theta by dt square is equal to C into theta, because C into theta is the restoring couple. Now I am rearranging this above equation and I got the equation number 3. D square theta by dt square is equal to C by I into theta. So equation 3 represents the simple harmonic motion. So for this equation, time period of oscillation T is equal to 2 pi root of displacement by acceleration. Here the displacement is not linear, it is actually angular. So it is taken as theta, and acceleration is equal to C by I into theta. This I got from equation number 3, because d square theta by dt square is the acceleration, and that is equal to C by I into theta. So I can write the time period of oscillation T is equal to 2 pi into root of theta divided by C by I into theta. So theta and theta will get cancelled. C by I can be brought to the numerator, so it will be reversed. T is equal to 2 pi root of I by C. Take it as equation number 4. So this T equal to 2 pi root of I by C is the time period of oscillation for a torsional pendulum. So what are the uses of torsion pendulum? First of all, it is used to determine the rigidity modulus of any kind of wire, and it is also used to measure the moment of inertia of the circular disc attached to the wire. Not only circular disc, it can be used to determine moment of inertia of any kind of irregular body. So these are the some of the uses of torsional pendulum. So far we have determined the time period of oscillation for a torsional pendulum. Now we are going to derive the rigidity modulus of the wire. So let us see how we are going to find the rigidity modulus of the wire. First, take the time period of oscillation. T is equal to 2 pi root of I by C. So as usual, a circular metal disc is suspended by a thin wire. The wire whose rigidity modulus is to be determined. So the top end of the wire is fixed firmly and the disc is rotated by applying a twist, and it is set free. Now it will undergo torsional oscillation. Now I am going to make the disc to undergo 20 oscillations. So with the help of a stopwatch, I am going to measure the time taken by the disc to undergo 20 oscillations. The time period is noted. The experiment is repeated and the mean time period is determined. Now length of the wire is measured. So for a particular length of wire, I am making the disc to undergo 20 oscillations and I have taken the time period. So for example, time for 20 oscillation is 10 seconds, means time period is equal to 1 divided by 10 seconds. So that is the time period of oscillation for one oscillation. So now the length is changed by 10 centimeter. I am adjusting the length to increase or decrease by 10 centimeter, and I am repeating the same experiment. That means I am going to measure the time taken for 20 oscillation, and from that I will measure the time taken for 1 oscillation. Okay. So now this type of change in length is done 5 or 6 times. So by adjusting the length, I am taking different time period of oscillation. Now the disc is removed and its mass and diameter are measured. Mass can be measured using a weighing balance and diameter can be simply measured with the help of a scale. Okay. So we know the formula, time period of oscillation T is equal to 2 pi root of I by C. I am squaring the equation on both the sides. So T square is equal to 4 pi square into I by C. I know the value of twisting couple C, which we have derived in our previous video. You can kindly check it. C is equal to pi n r power 4 by 2L. So in our formula we are going to substitute the value of C. So T square is equal to 4 pi square I divided by, instead of C I have substituted pi n r power 4 by 2L. So I am rearranging this equation and finally I got the value T square is equal to 8 pi IL by n r power 4. But our aim is to determine the rigidity modulus of the wire. So here n is the rigidity modulus of the wire. So bring this n value from right side to the left hand side and keep all the values, remaining values, to the right hand side. So I will get n is equal to 8 pi IL divided by T square r power 4. So in this formula, I is the moment of inertia of the circular metal disc, L is the length of the wire, T is the time period of oscillation, R is the radius of the disc. So using this formula we can find the rigidity modulus of the wire. Here the value of I is equal to mr square by 2, where m is the mass of the disc and capital R is the radius of the disc. In this formula small r is the radius of the wire, and here capital R, which is in the formula for I, that is radius of the disc. We are going to find the rigidity modulus of the wire by torsion pendulum using dynamic torsion method. So this method consists of 3 segments. In the first segment, we are going to clamp the wire in a fixed support, and at the end of the wire we are attaching a circular metal disc and we are going to make it undergo oscillation. In the second part, we are going to add 2 equal cylindrical masses near the center of the wire above the disc. That means the cylindrical masses will be along the diameter of the disc at very close distance between each other. The distance is taken as d1 and the disc will be made to undergo oscillation. The time period will be taken as t1. In the third segment, the 2 cylindrical masses will be kept at a long distance between each other, almost near the edge of the disc. The distance is taken as d2. Now the disc is made to undergo oscillation and the time period is taken as T2. So we are going to find 3 different types of time period of oscillation: T0, T1 and T2. T0 will be obtained by making the disc to undergo oscillation without any mass above the disc. T1 will be obtained by making the disc to undergo oscillation with equal weights placed above the disc at very close distance. T2 will be determined by keeping the cylindrical masses at long distance between each other. So now we are going to perform the first segment. Here the disc is made to undergo oscillation and the time period for one oscillation is determined. T0 is equal to 2 pi root of I0 by C. And now T0 square is equal to 4 pi square I0 divided by C. This is equation number 1. Here I0 is the moment of inertia of the disc. Okay. So now the second part is going to be performed. The 2 equal cylindrical masses are placed symmetrically above the disc along the diameter of the disc at a distance d1. Okay. Now the disc is set into oscillation. Time period of oscillation T1 is determined. T1 is equal to 2 pi root of I1 by C. So the formula is same, 2 pi root of I by C, but instead of I0 we have written I1. Here I1 is the moment of inertia of the disc and symmetrical masses at the closest position between them. Okay. So we are squaring this equation. T1 square is equal to 4 pi square I1 by C. Take it as equation number 2. By parallel axis theorem, moment of inertia I1 is equal to I0 plus 2I plus 2m d1 square. So this is a standard formula for moment of inertia by parallel axis theorem. So now I am substituting this equation 3 in equation number 2. Okay. Instead of I1 in equation number 2, I have replaced I0 plus 2I plus 2m d1 square. Here the small I represents the moment of inertia of each cylindrical masses which are kept above the disk. Okay. So now the cylindrical masses are placed symmetrically at equal distance d2. d2 means the distance between the two cylindrical masses are higher than the previous one. Okay. Now the disk is again twisted and set into torsional oscillation. Time period of oscillation for one oscillation is noted. It is taken as T2. So T2 is equal to 2 pi root of I2 by C. Just remember T0 is equal to 2 pi root of I0 by C. T1 is equal to 2 pi root of I1 by C. And now in the third part T2 is equal to 2 pi root of I2 by C. So like the previous case, we are squaring this equation. T2 square is equal to 4 pi square I2 by C. So T2 square is equal to 4 pi square into, instead of I2, I have substituted this value from parallel axis theorem. I0 plus 2I plus 2m d2 square. In the case of T1, for I2, in the case of T1, I have written 2m d1 square. But here in the case of T2, I have written 2m d2 square divided by C. Okay. Now I2 minus I1 is equal to, just subtracting these two values, I0 plus 2I plus 2m d2 square minus I0 minus 2I minus 2m d1 square. So what are all the like terms? I0 minus I0 got cancelled and 2I and minus 2I got cancelled. So I have taken the remaining terms, 2m d2 square minus 2m d1 square. Here 2m is common in both the terms, so I have taken it outside, 2m into d2 square minus d1 square. This is equation number 5a. Now subtracting equation 4 from equation 5, that means t2 square minus t1 square. So we are subtracting these two equations and cancel out the common terms. So you will get t2 square minus t1 square is equal to 4 pi square by c 2m into d2 square minus d1 square. So t2 square minus t1 square can be written as 4 pi square by c into I2 minus I1, because we know that I2 minus I1 is equal to 2m into d2 square minus d1 square from equation number 5a. Okay. So take it as equation number 6. Now equation 1 divided by equation 6. So T0 square divided by T2 square minus T1 square is equal to I0 divided by I2 minus I1. Take this one as equation number 7. Substitute this value of I2 minus I1 in this previous equation. So you will get T0 square divided by T2 square minus T1 square is equal to I0 divided by 2m d2 square minus d1 square. This 2m d2 square minus d1 square is the value of I2 minus I1. So I want the moment of inertia alone, isn't it? So keep the I0 on the left side and bring all other terms to the right side. So you will get I0 is equal to 2m d2 square minus d1 square into T0 square divided by T2 square minus T1 square. So this is the final formula for the moment of inertia of the circular metal disc. Now we are going to find the rigidity modulus of the wire. So consider the equation for couple per unit twist. C is equal to pi n r power 4 by 2l. Now substitute this value in equation number 6. So T2 square minus T1 square is equal to 4 pi square divided by pi n r power 4 by 2l into 2m d2 square minus d1 square. So in equation number 6, I have replaced the value of C. Okay. So T2 square minus T1 square is equal to 4 pi square 2l divided by pi n r power 4 into 2m d2 square minus d1 square. So on solving this above equation, you will get the value of n is equal to 16 pi lm d2 square minus d1 square divided by t2 square minus t1 square into r power 4. And just remember, in this equation number 9, L is the length of the torsion pendulum, that is length of the wire, and small m is the mass of the cylindrical pieces we have added to the cylinder. D2 is the longest distance between the cylindrical masses. D1 is the shortest distance between the cylindrical masses. T1 is the time period of oscillation when masses are kept at a close distance. T2 is the time period of oscillation of the disc when masses are kept above it at a long distance. So using this formula we can derive the rigidity modulus of the wire. Thank you.